Okay.
Hey, us.
Yay! Hello, everybody.
Hi, we're live. Yay, Sunday Night Live is live. Okay. So we are continuing the conversation from last Sunday, talking about getting our kids set up for back to school success. And we are focusing on being healthy and how to set a good foundation tonight. So, yay, everybody, let's just say where we're from and the ages of our kiddos.
Okey-dokey. I'm Jennifer Maynard. I am from Houston, Texas. I have two kiddos, one who is grown and the other one is 15.
Yay. Well, my name is Amy Miller, and I just moved to Moran, Wyoming today. It's just outside of the Grand Teton National Park. And my kids are 8, 5, and 5, starting third grade and kindergarten this year.
And I am Melissa Ashford Johnson. I'm coming from Huffman, Texas, which is right outside Houston. I've got a second grader, a kindergartner, and a pre-K this year. So our big question or overarching thing is, how do we keep our kids healthy? And it's such a big thing that not only did we talk some last week, but we're going to split it kind of in two. We're looking at that wellness pyramid we've talked about before, and we're going to split that in two and talk half this week and half next Sunday about those different levels. And we're going to start tonight here at the bottom at the foundation. So we'll be talking about eating right and how to set a good nutritional foundation. And that was actually the number one question from the poll when we polled you guys, was how to set a good nutritional foundation for your kids. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about exercise, lack thereof. And then we'll be talking about how to rest and manage stress. And that was another question from our poll, was how to set a good bedtime routine. So we'll be focusing on that, as well as talking about how we can help our kids to recover more quickly from illnesses that they do get, and a little bit about prevention, which, an ounce of prevention, pound of cure, all that. So we'll be talking about these parts of the pyramid tonight.
Yeah. And actually, can I add to that, Melissa? Next week, we're doing part 3, which we're going to talk about. And, so many of you ask about how to keep your kids healthy for the school year. And so we're going to even also address some of their spiritual and emotional needs next week, too. So stay tuned to the end, where we're going to talk about exactly what we're going to be covering next week, too.
Okay, so let's jump in with setting a good nutritional foundation, which eating right is the bottom of the pyramid, because we've got to build on a good foundation. We've talked so much about gut health already, and that plays a part for our kids as well. And really just getting all the nutrients in there that our kids need, just for adults, for kids, for anybody. It's virtually impossible to eat enough food to get all the nutrients that your body needs. We must supplement with good whole food, bioavailable supplements in order to get the nutrition that our bodies crave. In order to feed our kids growing brains, when we're sending them off to school, we've got to make sure we're giving them that nutritional foundation. Amy, what's some of the things that you do with your kids to help with that?
Yeah, so I'm actually curious what the parents here who are on live, just paying no attention to my hair, but I'm just sitting over here looking at it. I'm thinking, whoa. But I'm curious, if you're watching live on the replay, what are you already doing as a parent to try to set your kids up for success when it comes to nutrition? I'm curious, because we all are on kind of this wellness journey here. We're all at different stages of it. And I will tell you that even just a few years ago, I was not doing some of the things I'm doing now. And then, 7 years before that, I was definitely not doing any of the things I'm doing now. So I'm curious, what are you already doing? Just comment below what kinds of things you're already doing when it comes to nutrition. But Melissa kind of already mentioned and kind of touched on it about our gut health. And we've talked about that a few weeks back when we were talking about focus and mental clarity and things like that. But if we really want to set our kids up for success this school year, when it comes to nutrition, we have to start thinking about the gut. Because it is the second brain. And so if we want our kids' brains to be working on top of it and being there when it's time for school, we have to start with some of those things. So, so yes, we could talk about, I could talk about how to pack a healthy lunch and things like that. But I'm just going to tell you some things that we do to kind of give our kids extra boosts, extra things. We try to keep our diets clean, eating whole foods as much as possible. We try to stay away from, if you notice your kids are having some sensitivities for things, or they're noticing some strange rashes and things like that, start eliminating those high inflammatory foods like your gluten, your dairy. And you can't just eliminate them for a couple of days. I know Melissa can attest to this as well. You can't just eliminate them for a few days. It takes 3 weeks for dairy to get out of the system and 3 months for gluten to get out of the system. So you have to kind of, and you can see sometimes tremendous changes in even not only your kids' behavior, their mental clarity, their thinking, their skin from those changes. You've seen that, Melissa, haven't you?
Yes, and their sleep. That was a big one for me when my youngest was 18. We could not figure out why he couldn't sleep through the night, and it ended up being gluten sensitivity. And I didn't even know that could affect, at the time, I didn't even know that could affect sleep. So it's not for everybody. Not everyone has sensitivities to those, but there is a category of inflammatory foods. And if you're having unexplained issues with your child, it's worth exploring some of those foods to see if that's a trigger for your child.
Yeah. So comment below. I'm curious, for those of you who are watching us live or on the replay, comment with I don't know what's the word, maybe gluten-free or something. Comment if you think your kids, if maybe you suspect that there might be some sensitivities there, comment and let us know. I'm curious how many, because it was a while when I suspected that before sometimes you really take action on it. So I'm curious about that. But we always try to set our kids up with a good foundation when it comes to supplements. For the longest time, I never thought that we really needed supplements because, hey, we eat healthy. We don't need supplements. But when in reality, our soil isn't the same. Even if we're growing our own food in our gardens, just the nutrients are not there anymore. And so we have to have something to fill in those gaps. And so my kids take the A to Z chewables. In fact, your kids can take these as young as 4. My twins started taking them at age 3. They just didn't take them twice a day. They are a natural watermelon flavor. And I think if I remember correctly, they're only sweetened with stevia, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
I think it's stevia.
I think so. Yeah.
But this is packed with a bunch of superfoods that are high in antioxidants. Again, getting that brain ready to be thinking for the day in school. And then again, these are the IQ Mega. This is the omega-3 supplements. This is where we are really struggling in our nutrition because most of our diets, kids, adults, we're getting mostly omega-6s and 9s, and we need the omega-3s to keep the brain sharp. I want you to just, those of you parents who are out there, I want you to Google omega-3s and attention and focus. And I want you to see what kinds of results you find. You're going to find research results that are done heavily on attention-related challenges, focus-related challenges when it comes to kids in school. And this is what they're seeing, huge results. And I've seen it in my own kids. My oldest struggles with some of those challenges, and this is huge at helping keep him sharp and focused during the day. Another thing, when we talk about gut health, fermented foods, bringing fermented foods into the diet. So getting foods in the diet like unsweetened yogurt. I don't have some of that here, but unsweetened yogurt. So not any, you have to really be a label reader and start looking at the labels and see whether or not there's sugar in there. But you want to look for labels that are unsweetened yogurt. You can always add in like some apples to it to give it a little sweetness to it if you'd like, or raisins. But that is huge in helping your gut. Now, my family's a little weird, but we also do gut shots. I love farmhouse culture. They do gut shots. They have another flavor here. This is ginger beet. But we actually take shot glasses, and one by one, our family takes a gut shot. And yes, it does not taste amazing. You can see there's beets in here, but you know what? It's almost become like a challenge in our family. Like, it's something that we do as a family. We line up, we take it like a shot, and we're like, take it like a man, and we have to go woo when we're done. And but this is feeding your body with good supplements. If you don't want to do those and you want to do something else, this is cocoa kefir. This is another one that it's living probiotic shots. So this is not something that you drink like a Coke or anything. You take it in shot glasses amounts 1 or 2 times a day, and just make it like a crazy adventurous thing that your family can do together.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. If your family is not as cool as Amy's, if you're thinking there's no way my kid's gonna do a gut shot, I'm just gonna tell you, PB Assist Junior looks like a pixie stick. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Junior, my kids argue how many they can have per day. They want to eat those. So just in case.
They taste amazing. And here's something that I would say, because, like you guys both have the younger kids, right? But mine's older and more established. And Amy, like you're talking about 7 years ago, you didn't eat the way that you do now. I mean, we're making progress, but with a 15-year-old, I really have to kind of pick my battles, right?
Yeah.
But so on the older kid front, we do the supplements, but he actually takes a lifelong vitality. He didn't like the taste of the IQ Mega. He's very funny about text and things like that. But he can pop pills like a crazy person. And so he takes the supplements, and he'll take one of each a day. If you have a kiddo that is over 100 pounds, I believe that we've heard from Dr. Boyd, you can actually have them taking those supplements. And so we do that. Another thing that we're just try to do whatever I can. We haven't quite gone the kefir route or anything like that, but I will say that we've gone to a keto way of eating specifically because of his brain development. My kiddo got some issues with the brain, had part of the brain removed, and needs a lot of extra help and guidance in school. And so whatever I can do as a homeschooling mom, I'm up for success with that, I do. And as much good fats, avocado, coconut oil, things like that we can get into our diet, that's really helping to support his brain development. So that's kind of on the flip side. That's a little bit of what we do.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Jennifer, because, now I just had a brain lapse. I'm glad you mentioned that.
You need avocado.
Oh, no, because there is a lot of research out. I mean, some people think of keto as being kind of like this fad diet right now or something, right. But there's a lot of up and coming research about that with a lot of challenges, seeing that how beneficial that can be. And so I'm glad you mentioned that. And just one more thing about the gut shots. If you feel like you can't do these, I will say this one tastes much better than this one. You can easily add these shots into a smoothie as well, and you don't even taste them. And what's kind of cool, especially with younger kids, is they like to see what kind of color it's going to turn out to be. But it honestly, you can't even taste them when you add them into smoothies, a couple of ounces of it. And honestly, my kids did not start out taking these. They saw Jim and I taking them and were like, what's that? And we kind of said, well, we don't think you could handle this. And, kids, sometimes they like a challenge, like, don't tell me I can't take that. I can do that. Awesome. I'm man enough to take that. I'm like, I don't think you can handle it. I think it's going to be too much for you. And now, and I will say it was somewhat of a, like, we eased into it, but now it's like, we line up and woo! And it's like, honestly, it's like the first time you probably took another shot of something. Like, was that very tasty?
Not that any of us have ever done it again.
I don't know what you're talking about, Amy.
None of us have ever.
You might have done it again, and so, but this time it's actually filling your body with good things. So
y'all didn't know we were going there tonight, did you?
You don't know what you're going to get when it's live, right?
You never know.
I am glad you brought up smoothies though, Amy, because that's another one and a good way to get some extra dose into your kids. And it's such a quick breakfast before school when you're running late, when you're on your way out the door. Here's your smoothie. Put your gut shot in it if you've got that. Tara greens are a great thing. And we are not as adventurous as you, but we will eat our Tara greens. I like it. I like it chocolate, a chocolate base and banana almond butter in there. And then it just tastes like delicious. And
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Especially if you struggle with getting any kind of produce in your kids. If you have some really picky eaters and you're like, my kids are not going to eat anything that's green or whatever, and I'm trying to get that in them. This is a really easy route. It comes with tons of fruit and produce in there, and you can add it into your smoothies. And the kids don't know that it's in there. And yeah, it's a great way to start the morning. And I forgot, those of you who are joining us at the beginning, we have a gift for you. I'm going to share this link with you really quickly before I forget. If I can find the place where I can share it with you.
How many tabs do you have open at Amy Miller?
Let me see here. Where am I? We have a gift for you, and it's a video that we shared a while back, but it is a really helpful video, and a lot of parents have liked it. Parents and kids alike. Making your own gummies, and we talked about, they're just a fun thing to add to your lunches, whether you're homeschooling, public schooling, private schooling, whatever you're doing, and they add in your grass-fed gelatin, which may sound weird, but it's the same thing you've used before when you made Jell-O. It's just healthier for your kids and better for their gut. So somewhere I'm hoping I can find our video. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'll share the link with you guys here, where you guys can get that recipe to make those. Okay, awesome. I think I shared it.
Yeah, that's just a fun way to get your kids a little extra goodness.
Yeah.
So, and let's go ahead and move to the next part of the pyramid, which is exercise. Jennifer, I think you had something to share about exercise.
Yeah, so I was just going to talk about this because I know our experience has been, we were in the public school system up until just last year. And what I found a lot of times is, regardless of whether you're in the public system, schooling, whatever the case may be, in working with your kiddos, getting them to focus, getting them to do their work, there's a lot of studies that talk about how important it is to have a little bit of exercise, how it really helps to stimulate the brain, how it helps you to be better focused and just be able to work through things quicker. And so what we found that has worked well for us is, a lot of times, even if Jacob is sitting here, working on his work, but he's kind of, you can tell he's kind of starting to zone out a little bit, I'll have him just go out, ride his bike for a little bit. Or, when we had our puppy here, he would take him to the dog park, run around with him, do some laps with him, that kind of thing. But anything that they can do just to be active for a little bit. So, if you do have kids that are in the public school system, they're coming home after school, they've got homework to do, they're really not ready to go, let them go outside and just run around and play for a little bit. Give them 30 minutes just to be crazy and goofy and do their thing. And you might be surprised by how much that actually helps them as they're starting to try to dive into their homework a little bit later on.
Yes. I've seen that with my kids too. If we can get them getting that energy out, they can focus so much better on any of the work that they're doing at home. Yes. And I don't know if this is where we were going next, Melissa, but I know that even though we can set them up with a good foundation, we can set them up with exercise, there's still sometimes that things go downhill. And then we have to figure out ways to help them recover more quickly and get them back to school and back to our daily routine. So I don't know, do we want to talk more about exercise?
Yeah, I think that's where we were going next, was Absolutely right. We do our best job, but sometimes things just kind of fall through and they do get ill sometimes. And we've got to figure out the way to get them better more quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that we do to kind of help our kids recover more quickly is we immediately start diffusing. If we are not already diffusing oils, we immediately start diffusing the On Guard blend. Sometimes we might be diffusing maybe Breathe, depending on what's going on. And then we also, like anybody in the family who's needing more support recovering, we start applying the oils at the first sign. And we start applying them every 2 to 4 hours, really. And even after that to try to benefit recovery. And usually our go-tos are, what I like to call the Mac Daddies of of getting our bodies recovered quickly. Oregano, or the On Guard, or On Guard Plus capsules. I even shared on the Essential Life Tribe video a little oil hack for your kids that maybe they can't take the capsules orally yet. So if you want to check that out, guys can go into our private customer group there. And then we try to, I don't know if you guys do this as well, but we any other family members who maybe they haven't gone down, but we want to keep them from going down. Everybody else is also using oils, maybe just less often.
So maybe a preemptive strike.
Yes. So if one of the kids needs to recover, then maybe mom and dad, we're taking the On Guard Plus capsules maybe once in the morning and once in the evening to try to keep us upright and still staying well. But so what about you guys? Anything else that you guys do differently to try to help your kids recover more quickly?
No, I would say that what we do here falls very much in line with that. I can remember when we first started using oils, Jacob came home one day and he was like, hey, my throat kind of hurts. It doesn't really feel good. And he's laughing because he's heard me tell the story so many times because it is such a great kind of example. And at that time, we had my mom and dad, we had my daughter. So there were 5 of us in the house. So somebody comes home and says, oh, I don't feel good. And you're like, so the first thing I did was I grabbed the diffusers. I started diffusing On Guard in the house, right? I had On Guard on him. I had him because he was older at this point. I had to put a drop of On Guard in some water and just swish with it because it helped his throat, but it was also helping to kill whatever germs were in there. So, we were still fairly new to oils. I was trying to figure things out. We went to the doctor the next day and she's like, well, obviously he doesn't have, that throat thing that everybody gets that just lays him out because he's running around and being too crazy and, all of that. But she said, I'm going to go ahead and test him for it. And it turned out that he did have it. And at the same time that she's testing him and going, yeah, he's got this thing going on. We're like, he's going, can I go to Dairy Queen? Can I have a Hunger Buster? I want to eat. I feel great. I don't feel bad. And she's like, how does he even have this? And so I think it was just such a testament to the oils and how prevention and nipping it at the beginning. I mean, the best thing that you can do, honestly, is prevent. So put the On Guard on them, put it on the bottoms of their feet morning and night, right? Put socks on them after that, have them go about their day. The best thing that you can do is prevent it. But when they do end up with that thing, go to your oils. And the beautiful thing about it is you feel power because you have what you need and you know that you can fix the problem. So as a result of that thing that he went through, he was only down 3 hours, maybe, and that was it. And nobody else in the house got it. Everybody was fine. And I was like, okay, we're on to something here. And, just preventing now and using On Guard on a regular basis, I cannot see the last time one of the two of us went to the doctor because we were sick. We just have not needed to. And it's a great thing.
Yes. Yeah.
I think prevention is almost all of it. And in our house, I try to keep the oils where we're going to use them. So where we have our little shoes and socks area, that's where the On Guard touches. We just that's an everyday thing. Before we put on socks and shoes, we put on the On Guard. And that's, I feel like you said, it's proactive. And I feel like, okay, I've just done something, no matter if you're going to lick the window at Chick-fil-A or that's what my son likes to do. I've done something.
Thankfully, mine doesn't do that anymore.
I hope not. Can you tell Melissa has little ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, of all the things that you could do or, you know, lick the window at Chick-fil-A, you know, but anyway, that's hard though. That's the thing. You can just do it every day in the morning and before bed, and you're supporting our immune system, and it's so easy.
Yeah. You touched on something too, Jennifer, that I don't know if you guys have seen this as well, but I have found that the more that we are proactive, so do the proactive stuff, all the foundational stuff, the less time that we have to spend doing all the, oh my gosh, everybody's down, you know, or when somebody does need recovery, like you said, the recovery is so much faster than it ever was before we had been doing this stuff. I mean, you know, when my kids, or when somebody's down and out and on the bed, it's maybe 24 hours max. And then they're on the other side of the thing, and we're still doing oils, but to help them even get better. But it's so fast, so much faster. Do you guys
see something that takes, yes, absolutely. And it's something that takes 2 seconds, right? Rub, okay, done. But just taking that 2 seconds to do that saves you so much headache later. So it's been the same thing for us. I mean, like I said, we virtually never go to the doctor because we're sick. I think the last time Jake went to the doctor outside of a regular checkup, it was because we thought he'd broken an arm or something like that, you know, but we just don't go anymore for that. And it's such a change, because pre-oils, we would be in the doctor all the time. And he's sitting over here going, yep, you know, because that was our life. And it's just not anymore. And it's such a great thing.
Yeah.
So the next thing on our pyramid, and the last main thing from the poll that we did in our customer group, is how to set a good bedtime routine. So I think everyone has a good diffuser recipe that they want to share. And Amy, you had some things to say about setting a bedtime routine.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think, Jennifer, why don't you share yours first, and then I'll tag on with what you've got, because I know you had really good things to share.
Yes. Okay, so I am the girl that loves to talk about bedtime routines and things like that, because just like we've talked about in kind of the earlier series, when our bedtime routine is off, when we do not get enough sleep at night, it literally screws up everything else in our bodies. It screws up the way that our brain functions or does not function. It messes with our energy level. It leaves us dragging throughout the day. And that is not the way you want to have your kiddo doing school, right? So the best thing that I have found is actually the same routine that I use at night before I go to bed. And what we do is turn technology off, have a period where there is no technology, no screens. We'll have a diffuser going, and so I'll throw in that our favorites around here, we have 2 of them. It's Serenity in the diffuser. To me, just smells amazing. Jacob's favorite is Peace, and so we'll go back and forth between those 2 when we have them. And we'll have the diffuser going, go take a shower or a bath. Something else that you could do that's really great for the kiddos is have them pick their favorite nighttime oils, right? And keep in mind that their nighttime oils might not be always traditional nighttime oils. In the very beginning, when we first started with oils, Jacob's go-to at night was Elevation. And Elevation seems like it would be something that would keep awake, but in his particular instance, it was the Joyful blend, and he was in a pretty dark place at that time, exactly what he needed to be able to go to sleep at night. So let them kind of go for the ones and try moderation. You can have them ready for them. They can put them on. You can give them a little foot rub or something like that. They'll think they're getting spoiled rotten, and you're just helping them really kind of chill out for the night and get ready to go to sleep. The other thing that I would say that we love around here, and it's thank you to the Millers for this, but the app Headspace that you can get put on your phone. I have done, I think, Amy, in the last year since you told me about it, I have meditated like 70, almost 7,500 minutes since you told me about it a year ago.
Wow.
I just love it. And so the cool thing about it is Headspace is an app where you can use it no matter your age. They have kid little meditations that you can do. Amy, tell them what you guys call it at your house.
Yes. So the guy who speaks on the Headspace app. Now this is a paid app, but I'm telling you guys, it's worth every penny.
Oh, good.
But the guy who speaks on here, he has such an awesome voice. You could listen to it all day and all night, right? It wouldn't be a great app if you couldn't hear him. But his name is Andy. He'll say, "Hi, my name is Andy." And so we say to our boys, "Do you want to do an Andy?" And they love it. And you guys, look, they have them divided up for kids by age level. So they even have, you can select for kids age 5 and under, ages 6 to 8, and then ages 9 to 12. Above that, they can use the adult ones, but they have specific ones. And they even have ones for sleep, which is what we're talking about. So this is a great way to help them get that winding down happening, bringing everything down from music to how we're talking to the lights. I mean, how many of you as parents, sometimes you're getting your kids ready for bed and it's like the stadium lights are on in your house and you're like, "I don't know why my kids won't settle down." Like, you have to try to help train their brains to help them settle down. And actually, we didn't even talk about this, but I was thinking my oldest now, even sometimes to settle his brain, I'll give him one of these Serenity capsules. I don't have any to show here, but that really helps him, especially if he has not had enough of the exercise that we talked about earlier. If for one reason or another we did not get enough and he just lays there tossing and turning, but if we can give him a Serenity capsule, it helps settle his mind and he's able to get back, go to sleep. Yes, I love that.
You have
one other thing,
anxiety or nightmares, something like that.
Oh, yes. I love to diffuse juniper berry and cedar wood together as a pair. Cedar wood because it helps your kids go into the more restorative state of sleep. So maybe they sleep easily, but maybe you're feeling like they're not getting into that deeper sleep. So cedar wood, a couple of drops of cedar wood, and then a couple of drops of juniper berry. And I love that, especially for your kids that maybe they get anxious at night, or maybe they have some night terrors. Maybe they're just really restless. They keep, wanting to come into your bedroom, things like that. Those two are really helpful for those kids that are just anxious at night and they really don't like the nighttime. So I love that go-to. What about you guys? I know you guys have some different ones.
At our house, my favorite go-to is Breathe and frankincense. All three of my kiddos struggle with seasonal allergies, so Breathe is something we do every night, year-round, and the frankincense in there makes it really grounding, so it makes it a good nighttime blend too. So
yes,
that's something we just do all the time. And you guys who are watching live or on the recording, if sleep is something that you want to hear more about for your kids or for yourself, just comment sleep so that we can dive in even deeper than we are right now in a future episode.
Yes. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Just as a side note, Melissa, we've been asking you guys to tell us what you want more information about, and we have been changing. If you guys will go to, I'll give you the link right now in the comments. If you'll go to this link, you'll be able to see all the new upcoming topics that we've been adding, that we're addressing the things that you're talking about. And remember, this is all about your most requested topics. So I'm going to post the link here so you can see all the new ones coming up. Sorry, I kind of got off on a tangent there.
No. We are just about out of time for tonight. So again, if there's more things that we talked about tonight that you want to hear more about, just let us know and we can expand these into another episode. As far as keeping your kids healthy and having a successful school year, we're going to have part 3 of that conversation next Sunday, where we'll be diving into the spiritual, emotional connection, proactive healthcare, and reducing toxic load. Also, if you are local to the Kingwood, Atascocita, Huffman, Humble kind of area, we do have a live event for school, back to school, how to rock your school year. And that will be next Sunday as well, Sunday the 26th at 7 o'clock p.m. All the event information is in our private Essential Life Tribe group, as well as on the Life on Purpose Facebook page. So you can find that there, or if you need to just comment event, and I can get you the information that way too.
Awesome. This has been fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love our Sunday Night Live.
Yes, this has been fun. Arlene, you said you're sorry you didn't get on the beginning. You're going to check the replay. Awesome. Well, that's why we have these replays. And if you've registered, you'll also get the recording straight to your inbox. So, so I love that. And if you, Melissa, did you already tell what people who don't have oils or who are new to doTERRA?
I did not talk about newbies.
Okay, I can share that. So if you are new to essential oils, or maybe you're just new to doTERRA, here's what you can do. Just put in the comments below, even if you're watching us on the replay, just comment with the word newbie, and we can get connected with you. We'll help see what might be best for your needs, and then you can see if it's a right fit for you. So I'm looking forward to next week and the weeks to come too, as there are exciting things coming up, and as doTERRA's convention is coming up soon, we're going to have even more new things to be talking about with all of you. But again, we're going to keep covering what are your most requested topics. So keep letting us know what you're wanting to see and learn more about. So this has been great.
Yeah. All right.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.